Hello, we are here at Channel Mic Check, and this is a special edition because we are at Red, White, and You, which is our signature public sector conference. We're hosting our partners in this space and our vendor OEMs, so really excited to have everybody here together. And there's someone very exciting who's here this week, which is our new public sector leader, Wendy Welch. Wendy, welcome.
Calhoun, thanks. It is so great to be here. There is nowhere else I'd rather be.
Now, a little way we like to start these sometimes is just I kind of want everybody to get to know you a little bit. So I've known you for a little while, and I know you like to travel both personally and professionally. So tell me a little bit more about your kind of travel adventures.
All right. Well, yes, personal and business. I have been to all 50 states.
Oh, wow.
Yes. My husband wants to say that it doesn't count because of his business. He's really just jealous that he's missing Alaska. But
okay.
Yeah, that's another conversation. Country count, I think I'm at about 35. So have really just been amazing to, travel, experience different cultures, foods, so many amazing experiences with colleagues, great trips with my husband. So love that. From a adventure standpoint, I would say one of my favorites was when we were in Greece and hiked from Ia to Fira, which if you've never done that hike, just take a lot of water. That was, we were very ready for a cold beverage and a little snack at the end of that. But yeah, have been really, really privileged with all the travel.
That is awesome. So I love talking to people who travel a lot because everybody's got their weird travel rituals, travel quirks. So window, aisle.
Okay. Window.
Okay.
I take one for the team when I'm with my husband because he's an aisle. So I do take the middle seat when I'm with him.
Oh, that's romantic.
Yes. But I have just recently shifted to the side-by-side aisle seat. That's a little better, a little more comfortable.
That is a little more comfortable. Yeah. I'm an aisle person. Mm-hmm. Big aisle person.
Yep.
Okay, what's another one? What food is just never eat on the airplane? What's banned? What should be banned?
I just think in general, anything around airplane sushi should be banned.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be
No.
partaking in that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's fair. Okay. So now let's switch gears. Let's talk about your new favorite topic, public sector. So how did you get into the public sector space? Because you've been in it a while.
I have. Public sector is just, I believe, a really special and important place in the ecosystem. I had the opportunity to start my career in the U.S. higher education market. And later in a role at a large OEM, I had been leading distribution and the value-added reseller channels, and a leader approached me and asked me to take on the U.S. public sector sales team. And I really had to take a minute and think about, was I ready to take that role? Public sector sometimes can be viewed as maybe a little slow. I like to say deliberate, heavy RFPs and contracts. And when I leaned in and said yes to that opportunity and dove into the role, what I remembered and what I've carried forward is how important the public sector function is. We are purpose-driven. We are mission-first. One of the SLG sales reps that reported into me at the time articulated it better than anyone that has ever shared their version. And that is, Wendy, Derek said this to me, Wendy, I chose public sector sales because this enables me to impact the technology decisions that the school districts where my children are educated. I can impact that. And it just gives me chills. It reminds me this isn't just a job. It isn't about hitting a quarterly target. It's truly how we're working across the ecosystem with vendors and partners to solve the real needs in our community. And it's a legacy that I think we can carry forward with us. And it's just different than the roles I've had in commercial. And for me, it's a bigger passion and a bigger impact.
I can totally relate to that. I think that's so well put. My mom's in law enforcement. So whenever I get to see some of these different brands that we have here this week who are really specific to the law enforcement community and people who are out there really trying to be peace officers, and that always hits home for me because it's really cool to think, hey, that's something that she's going to use to protect her, to help her serve the community better, and protect our community. So I love that. I think that's so beautiful the way that you put that. So it was Derek, right?
It was Derek.
All right. Well put, Derek.
Exactly.
Well put, Derek. So as you step into this role, what are maybe the top 3 things that are top of mind for you right now?
Just part of it's the pace of our industry right now. So when I think about the speed of innovation, the importance of clarity for our partners, and how they're bringing solutions to market. So how do we simplify the complex? How do we reduce friction in our go-to-market? And how do we also enable advanced solutions so that the partners are not just bringing the solution to the customer, but they are enabled to see it all the way through to implementation and also then driving adoption. The agencies and some of the school districts and municipalities that our partners are serving, they're faced with increasing challenges. And that's anything from the landscape of tariffs and pricing disruptions to productivity impacts from labor shortages or retirement cliffs. It is increasingly important that our partners are fully enabled and working with us to drive solutions across the vendors and then ensure that those productivity gains are realized at the customer and that the customer can accomplish not only internal adoption with their employees and their coworkers, but also adoption out to the constituents in their communities.
Well, and this isn't your first day in the public sector space. So you've been in this industry for a while around public sector specifically. So what feels different now than maybe when you first jumped into things years ago?
So when I think about the complexity that we're dealing with, everything feels like it's accelerated. The pace of innovation, the service level demands, and also just the pressure to deliver productivity. Things are faster. So where we sit in distribution at the center of the ecosystem, and I view the power center of the ecosystem, it's how can we look left and right across the vendors and across the solutions, and then also understand the specializations and work with our partners to drive additional enablement and bring those complex solutions to their customers, not just from the standpoint of evaluation and selection, but also through service offerings to ensure that we're enabling them to address service delivery, implementation, and even adoption and utilization. So as we think about the spectrum of requirements, it's not just the transaction, it's the full life cycle of the solution.
I love that. And I think that, when we step through partner conversations and OEM conversations, everybody's kind of rallying around those points right now. What is it that you wish people were talking more about that you don't hear enough of?
Well, I hear a lot, and especially this week, I've definitely heard a lot. I think sometimes it is, again, just like slowing it down. It's the maybe double-edged sword of the complexity. Sometimes the pace of that we get caught up in. So perhaps just the moments and some of the conversations I've been able to have this week where we're just like, you know what? Let's just slow it down a little bit. Like, let's make sure if we talk about simplification or landing our top 3 priorities, that we actually give ourselves permission with our partners to really focus on the prioritization, making sure that we're operating most strategically, because I think that clarity is important, and the clarity gives us a very clear map on how we move forward with a particular solution. Perhaps it's solving a new problem for a customer.
What I hear you saying is really slowing down to have the intention around a conversation, not just attention, but be intentional about an outcome. And I think, we're all focused so much on modernization and making sure that we're being very clear with our partners and our customers around, hey, how are we evolving some of these legacy environments? And it's really easy to get caught up in checking things off the list to say, oh, we've got this now and we can do this now and look at this flashy thing. And sometimes we get far down that road with some of these deployments and we realize, well, we never really defined that outcome that we were actually trying to get to. We were just trying to, adopt different things. So I think that what I hear you saying is really being intentional about naming an outcome and building a roadmap to get to it together.
You actually are hitting on something that I often ask in a meeting, internal or external, which is just the simple, what does success look like? So as we're approaching a new engagement or building out, designing a new solution, it is ensuring that we're agreeing. What does success look like? If we don't take that opportunity to pause, we can all have best intentions and say, we'll do our best, but we haven't really defined what we're working towards.
Well, and this is a hard space to do that in because the pace is very fast and it's got a lot of change. So, what success might be defined as one day, it evolves another day, or the roadmap to get there evolves and shifts with policy changes and different things. So, I think that that's one of the things I'm really proud of when I look at our team is we have people who are really accustomed and specialized to adapt to those changes. And I'm so glad you're going to be a part of it now.
Well, thank you. And I mean, the team, our team is just amazing. And as we talk about some of the complexity, you also have to remember in public sector, how we go to market can vary, and we have some options just based on what contract vehicles that we can leverage. So sitting down with a partner and understanding, what does the customer need? What is the solution? Our team is so adept at being able to understand what contract vehicle we might want to leverage to give that partner the optimal outcome. So again, it is just what we spoke about, having that intention, but pausing, just taking that extra beat to ensure that we're really clear on the outcome so we can co-design the best go-to-market that drives success for all parties.
So, Wendy, we've talked a lot about, connecting with our partners and these conversations that we're having with them this week. What is it that you're kind of leaving here that you would love to say to our partner ecosystem? Hey, I wish more of you did blank.
Calhoun, this is easy. I need partners to engage us. I need partners to engage us early and often. And what do I mean by that? As we've had conversations this week and we're talking about complex solutions, I've heard repeatedly areas where our team's expertise and the specialization, and we're doubling down on specialization. Again, in these conversations, I've heard several examples where we could have solved a solution faster, but we were brought in later to the conversation. So that would be my number one ask is engage us early and often.
I love that because this is a great team and a very strong team with lots of experience and a whole tool bag of things to offer and help our partners to solve their challenges with. So, okay, so same question, but for our vendors, what is it that you wish our vendors would action more with us?
The same answer,
Okay.
Engage us. So similar to the partner side, on the vendor side, I would like the vendors to engage us early. And that's not even just from a deal perspective, but the vendors are driving the innovation. So as they're looking at long-range planning or maybe new solutions they're bringing to market, come and engage with us. Let us help you design the go-to-market. Let us ensure that we're ready so we hit the ground running faster and we can even have the partners ready and provide that connectivity between the vendor community and the partner community. We are the center of the ecosystem.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think that's a perfect note to end on. And at the end of every single one of these, we do something called a mic drop. And this is really just kind of like, all right, if I were to sit here and just think of, one kind of short statement that I want to make to everybody, it's typically something kind of bold, kind of pushing it. And we don't like you to know in advance because we like you to just kind of get to be organic with it. But so now we're going to do our mic drop moment. And so, Wendy, what is your mic drop?
I say my big shout out and my mic drop is engage us. This team is mission ready and we're ready to go.
Oh, perfect. Mission ready is the theme of Red White News Conference. So Wendy, the little marketer in me is so happy. So thank you. Thank you. But no, seriously, we are so happy to have you as a part of the TD SYNNEX team. Welcome aboard. And with that, you've just completed your first episode of Channel Mic Check.
Well, thank you. I feel so accomplished, but truly, I am humbled to be here. This is an amazing organization, and being able to work with so many partners, vendors, and coworkers that I have admired over the years there's just nowhere else I'd rather be. So
that's what we like to hear. Well, welcome. And with that, let's go back and join the party.
Sounds good.
All
See you
right.
there.
Thanks, everybody.